Hello viewers, it's time for the annual look at the Australian stock market and my picks for 2025. Now 2024 was a pretty decent year. Now this was the results, as you can see on the screen, of the main picks from last year. Remember, I gave you also sub portfolio to of stocks to also do your own work around, see whether you want to get involved with them. But of the main ones, up nearly 300% overall, with Pro Medicus there being a standout player. Now, what have I got lined up for 2025? Well, I've got a short list that I hone into an even smaller list of favourites for the year. Going to have a look at an ETF you can trade, the Australian market, overall viewpoint on. And also going to take a look at the main ASX 200 index to see what's going on there. So let's get into it. Before we get into the stocks though, let's have a look at the overall index, what's been going on there. That's the ASX 200. Now, as you can see, we've got over here on the left, we've got these, I'd call them COVID lows, got down to the mid 4,000s around about here, and since then actually it's been pretty decent. And as you can see up top, to the highs that were poked in early December of 24, up nearly 93%, so pretty decent return. And I've also marked on this 18.5% gain since we saw the flip of the DMI indicator down here to a more positive trend. So that went positive, where is that, December 23. So we've actually had a good period of growth there in the Australian stock market, trading above its 50 and 200 moving averages. And right down the bottom, stochastic also just turning a bit warm, bit bullish maybe in the near term, so something to watch out there. Zooming in a bit, where can we expect things to move to the up and the downside? Well, you can see right here now we're at 8,200s, and we've got the overhead highs at 8,500 area to break first, and then we would be looking longer term over the year to around about the 10,000 mark. And if it can really be bullish and push on, we would be talking about hitting that 11,000 area. If it fails from here, we got these key areas, these call it Fibonacci lines, and we've got the moving averages there. So a downside pullback, we're looking at 7,700 area. Things start to turn a bit nasty. That next Fibonacci line, which is around the just under the 7,000 mark. So that would be my pullback suggestions. But with that, like I said, that indicator there, stochastics at the bottom, and the DMI also looking bullish at the moment, you'd be more odds on for a move towards the recent highs. But always do your own analysis and use your own chart setups. This is just a guide, an idea, but it's not looking too bad at the moment. We've had that pull back in the December period, then a little push up, maybe some more strength to come. And very quickly, for those interested or those who could maybe not access the Australian stocks directly, or just want a more generic point of view, play on the direction of the Australian market, got this iShares MSCI Australia Index Fund ETF. And you can see the ticker there, EWA. You can see very similar shape chart to the main ASX 200, giving you that representation so you can take your point of view. So something for you to look into there. So the bit you've all been waiting for, that is the Aussie Stocks 2025 picks. Now we're going to start off with the more wider basket of stocks. Got 24 symbols, stocks to look at, which I'm going to refine into just 8. I'm going to take you through the charts and see where they might be heading next. But first, let's take a look at this 24 very quickly. So first of all, I've organised them by sector. the 24 that is. The first sector there, commercial services, we've got Omni Bridgeway, and then we've got communications, we've got a company called Tuas Limited, then consumer non-durables, Becker Cheese, consumer services, Aristocrat Leisure, then distribution services, supply network, electronic technology, a couple there, Brain Chip Holdings and Catapult Group, energy minerals, Amplitude Energy, a couple in finance, Insignia and AMP, health services, Pro Medicus, our big winner from last year, still on the list there, health technology, 3 there, Mesoblast, Fisher and Paykel, Imricor, and then moving on to industrial services, we've got Superloop, retail trade, JB Hi-Fi and My Holdings, then a big bunch there in technology services, Appen Technology, Nuix, Hub24, Moneyme and Bravura, and then finishing off their transportation work, the very famous airline Qantas. What I'm noticing from there is in the past we've had more commodity related stocks, not so much anymore, and that was similar to last year. Actually, it's been moving more away from the commodity stocks and into other areas like technology and healthcare, for example, showing much more strength. And just organising them by market cap size to give you an idea of the sort of spectrum of sizes and types of business we're looking at here. We've got at the top there Aristocrat Leisure, 44.97 billion Australian dollars. Then we got Pro Medicus, Fisher and Paykel, Qantas Airways coming in there at 14 billion. Go right down to the bottom, we got a company as small as 164 million, which is Moneyme, Imricor Medical Services 250 million, and Omni Bridgeway 438 million. So big spectrum there in terms of different sizes, giving us all sorts of different opportunity. So we've got a great mix there of stocks to take a look at. But now, the big, list, refining it down to just my 8 favourite for 2025. As these are longer term plays, I'm going to focus in on the weekly charts for each of the 8. But also please remember that these are trade ideas. I don't just jump straight in. I use technical analysis to time my way in, because that's how you can maximise your returns. I don't just buy and hold and go away. I'm managing the trades at all times. So caveat there, do your own research, due diligence, always consult your financial advisor for more advice. But my tip there, don't just trade them willy-nilly. Line it up with some charts and time your way in and out, for that matter, because these can often peak very quickly and then disappear for the rest of the year. So we want to maximise our profits for 2025. And like I said, I'm going to concentrate on the weekly chart. So who is first up? So first up, it's a small stock they call Catapult Group International, ticker CAT there. Now what do they do? Well, this is a really interesting one. Despite being a small company, about 430 employees out of Richmond, Australia, sports science and analytics company providing sport teams and athletes with technologies designed to optimise athlete performance, avoid injury and improve return to play, in Australia, Europe, Middle East, Africa, Asia, the Americas. So global performance health coaching type company, very interesting. Obviously sports, massive market there. They've got media licensing as well, athlete management, professional services, so a really interesting group there. So looking at the charts, also fantastic growth since the lows of April 23. If we have a look there, right down there, and I've estimated nearly a 500% gain to those highs that we saw in early December, just consolidating now at the moment. Let's take a look at the downsides first. Notice this volume by price over here. Notice how this scoop here, not too much volume in there. That can sometimes say that the price can move quite quickly down, and this key Fibonacci line at 2.5 Australian dollars, 1 to watch very closely there. In terms of upside, where could we be looking at? Well, first stop 4.65, 510, then 574. So some decent upside there. Let's just give that a percentage gain up to that top one, 50-60% maybe, if things kick off. And down the bottom, just quick look at the indicators, just turning bullish there on the stochastic, and the trend, obviously, as we can see there, all very bullish. So an interesting stock, that on Catapult. Let's get on to the second one. Clue is in the name on this one, JB HiFi Limited, focusing mainly in Australia and New Zealand. And another brand called The Good Guys provides computers, monitors, projectors, printers, ink, data storage, devices, keyboards, mice, computer accessories, software, home, internet and Wi-Fi products, office solutions. The whole lot, 15,000 employees out of South Bank, Australia. The chart has been looking pretty decent. Heading into that data, you can see really from November 23, a real run up in the price. Let's just have a look at the percentage gain there, 112%, very nice indeed. Not a lot of volume on the way up there, most of it all around, unsurprisingly, this 45 sort of 40 area. Maybe tricky, like we just discussed with our first one, Catapult there. These sort of scoops of price, volume by price, can drive it down fast if it does turn nasty. And we can marry that in with the Fibonacci's, as you can see there at the different levels, to pick off versus the volume as well. So I suggest a pullback, 85, then 75, and then 67, 68 sort of area. Upsides, still pretty decent, 114, 115, then 123, 24, and then if it really takes off, we've got up there 136, which gives us a percentage gain from where we're at right now of about 40%. As you can see, consolidating, sort of slowing down a bit at these new highs at 98 sort of areas. So got to break through there, cement a bit of volume over here to hold at these new levels before it can try and push up. Indicators as well, both bullish at the moment. At number 3, these guys don't need any introduction. That's Qantas Airways, the world famous airline, heading straight to the charts. I want to draw to your attention the COVID lows. You can see that big pullback there in the price, and since then we had really good up run from the lows to the very recent highs, as in last week, up 344%. So real good recovery there. And I'm just interested to see where they've been in terms of price in the past. It's been a lot worse, got to say that. Let's just flip this to monthly very quickly and take a look. See, they're actually now trading, now we've got data back to 96 here, at all-time high. So really good performance at the moment as the world has recovered from the COVID situation. Qantas has certainly stood up and been counted and doing very well. Now, upsides, let's go there first. We got just over 11, 12 and a half, call it, and just under 14 as the potential upsides. The indicators, stochastics and DMI, modified DMI, that is both bullish. Let's just have a quick look at the volume. As we're trading at highs, it looks like it's starting to build something out there at this 9 1/3 area. Big drop off, very quick drop off back to the 7.8 area if things turn bad. Then again, another drop off to this sort of level here, where this 61.8 key Fibonacci line is at sort of $6.50. And notice where the price, a lot of noise over there. So that could be, a really nasty pullback, maybe a buy the dip opportunity, or maybe there's something worse going on in the world affecting airlines more generically. But we're looking for this break. We're being positive. We want to see 11, 12 as our potential target for 2025. So fourth choice, I'm sticking with Pro Medicus, ticker PME. I get a little bit nervous when they've climbed so fast because we haven't seen a pullback there yet in the price. But firstly, who are they? Well, they're a healthcare informatics company engaging in development and supply of healthcare imaging software and radiology information. Pretty much around the world, so really good, important company there. Again, from Richmond, Australia. Heading to the charts, that's big gain from the lows back in July of 2022, 623%, massive. But as you can see, more recently, it's been knocking at all-time highs at 270 area. Been struggling to break through what it was early December, but what is encouraging is if we go over to the right, we've got volume building up there. So I want to see more of that around there. We might see a bit more of this. So price action before we go on to that. Got a big gap scoop down there. It could fall back quite fast if people, go out favour with this stock. You're talking down to 150 sort of zone, but in the meantime, 220, 180, potential downside. So if, like I said, we can break on up, 330, 370, and then up through the 400. So in terms of upside from where we are at these near highs, it's another 50 odd percent. Stochastics bullish, DMI bullish, but always urge caution on these high flying, fast flying big stocks like this, because we haven't seen that pull back yet. Profit taking can chip in, create a bit of panic, but essentially it's a great product market that it's in. Has longevity and sustainability to it, so that's why I'm sticking with it for another year. At number 5, our biggest stock in terms of market cap, that's Aristocrat Leisure Limited, from North Ryde, Australia, and clues in the name again, like the last HiFi one we looked at, into gaming content and technology. Both in Australia and internationally, in 3 main segments: gaming, Pixel United, and interactive. Designs, develops, assembles, distributes, sells and services gaming content, platforms and systems, from electronic gaming machines, casino management, free to play, mobile games. About 8,500 employees, and a very positive looking chart, as you can see. We've got this lovely, nice big uptrend at the moment. Both indicators are bullish. You're trying to, see the concerns of the stock, where you can actually see we got this lack of volume there. The scoop's always looking for those. Let's just pull on the Fibonacci's to ascertain some sort of levels in terms of up and down sides. Let's go on there. Upsides wise, we could be looking at 83, 89, just pulling that down a bit further. Really takes off just under 100, 98 sort of area. Nice big run up there, but like we said, we've got no history there to talk about, so it's got to really build itself from here. We've had that nice lovely run up over the last month. Actually, let's have a look at from the lows to the high. It's 140% gain. You can see all the volume down there at the bottom here. So in terms of downside pullback, use the Fibonacci's 63. Then key one there, 61.8% line, 56 area, and then 51. But like I said, with the others, we're all positive, all of these stocks, so we'll be looking for that upside push towards 83. Another stock staying on the list for a second year running is Hub24, a financial services company providing integrated platform technology and data solutions to the wealth industry in Australia, operating through platform and tech solution segments. Onto the chart. Actually, before we go there, just to note, it's a pretty small company, 893 employees out of Sydney. But yeah, the chart wise performance, it's been very good since the mid 2022, up 350% nearly there. Little pullback in December, for stabilizing using this like Fibonacci area, $65 maybe as the support area. Breaks from there, we'd be using again the Fibonacci at 55 and then at 48. You can see not a lot of volume there. It's all down here at the bottom, but it has been growing very nicely, like we can see. That little pullback meant the stochastic down the bottom's come off, but now just about turning positive, so that's encouraging sign maybe to be buying the dip now to see it moving on up. DMI also positive. Upsides 78, which was those highs which it's got to get through first, then 94, and then through that 100 to 102, 103 sort of area. So for me at number 7, we've got more of an outside bet here. Can they recover from the lows that they've been seeing over 24? They're called Moneyme Limited. Who are they? They're a digital financial service company providing consumer finance in Australia, offering loans such as personal loans, car loans, cash advances, quick loans, lines of credit cards, the whole lot. Founded in 2013, so pretty new as well in terms of a company out of Sydney. And the weekly chart, well, hard to determine or see really what's going on. You can see, well, what you can see is that they have turned more bullish on the weekly chart, but I'm going to focus on the daily. I said I was going to focus on the weekly, but just for more transparency, going to have a look at the daily there, blow that out, give us some more idea of where things are heading at the moment. Let's clear it up and go from there. So let's pull that back. We can see the lows we're back in November 23, and it's all pushed on a bit of a recovery, but then it's got sloppy and gone sideways there. But down in July of 24, halfway through last year, we've seen a nice rise up to the highs back in late December. 200% gain there in terms of price, as you can see from there. So let's just draw on the Fibonacci's, work out some levels. Let's get them put on there very quickly. There we go, down to those lows there. Let's pull the chart in. Right, so upwise, got to get through the highs at 0.225, and then we will be looking at maybe the sort of 3 area, and then up to the 3 1/3, 3 1/2 area to the upside. Downside again, remember the scoops, always think about the scoops. We got a quick move back down to this sort of area, and then maybe that key Fibonacci line at 0.15, and then under that I would suggest into this sort of zone here. This other key Fibonacci line, 0.115, would be an interesting pullback if it all goes horribly wrong. But it seems to be stabilising in around this 0.185 to the highs of 0.225. Again, look for maybe some sideways action before shooting off. That's why I always say time it in with the technical analysis. And again, for the downside as well. Indicators at the moment, both bullish, so it's not looking too bad. It seems to be stable at the moment. Like I said, it's more of an outsider bet, this one, for 2025, but watch it closely. Moneyme. And for my last pick, we've got a company called Supply Network. What do? They provide aftermarket parts to the commercial vehicle industry in Australia and New Zealand. Company sells truck and bus parts under the Multi-Spares brand name as well, offering a range of services comprising parts, procurement, supply management, problem solving. Headquartered Pemulwuy. Now I'll probably pronounce that wrong and you'll shoot me for it. Don't know how to pronounce that, so you can correct me in the comments, I'm sure you will. Incorporated in 1986. And the charts, great looking chart, up 1,092% since the lows back in April of 20. been a real nice consistent growth there in terms of price action. Indicators at the moment, TMI very positive. Stochastics looking maybe a bit over bought at the moment, so we might see a pullback, and if we do, where would we expect it to go to? 27, 28 sort of area, and then the key Fibonacci line there, 61.8 at 22.5. We've got that scoop play there, which would then take it down for a real bad run down to the 15s area, but upside wise 43, 47, and then if we just drag it down there, we're talking mid 50s, 54 sort of area. There you go, my 8 picks for 2025. Don't also forget about that shortlist that took it out to about 24 stocks. Do your own due diligence, investigation work on those charts, and always remember to speak to a financial advisor first before investing your money. Other tip there is to use technical analysis to time your way in and out of those trades over the year. But we'll meet again this time next year to see where those stocks have gone for the annual review of the market and where things are heading next. Now, if you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell notification button to receive further content. Love to hear your thoughts as well in the comments of the stocks that I've picked. Have I missed any that you are looking out for in 2025 in Australia? What are your hot shots for the year? Let us know. Like I said, love to hear from you. And if you're new to trading, want to learn about the subject, don't know where to start, I've got an excellent free course on the YouTube channel. Hundreds of videos in there. Work your way from top to bottom. And you'll come out the other side a much better, more rounded, more successful trader. That playlist coming up right now.